Okay, let's unpack this. In a world where constant connection is, well, the norm and busy is almost worn like a badge of honor, finding real quiet time can feel incredibly scarce. Sometimes it even feels uh, a little unsettling, maybe.
It absolutely can, yeah. And that very feeling is something our source material today really tackles head on. We're diving into a perspective shared by the LPot's community, specifically looking at how they approach solitude and how they're actively working to sort of normalize the idea of choosing to be alone.
Right, that's the core of it, isn't it? The source doesn't frame solitude as, some kind of empty space you need to urgently fill or run away from. Instead, it presents it as, well, almost an invitation. Not a lack of something, but maybe a call towards something else.
Precisely. So the mission here is to really understand this viewpoint and see what valuable nuggets of insight we can pull out on why, from this LPOT's perspective, choosing to be alone isn't just okay, but actually a genuinely valuable and maybe even necessary path.
And what's fascinating here is the underlying reason, like why this chosen solitude is seen as so vital. The source makes a point that over time, through all our interactions and roles, relationships, work, family, social stuff, we can kind of inadvertently shed or lose pieces of our authentic selves. We adapt, right?
Yeah.
We compromise, we shapeshift a bit to fit in.
It's like we build up layers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Almost unconsciously. And eventually you might look inward and realize, hang on, I'm not entirely sure who's at the very core, beneath all those layers. So the source posits that solitude is that crucial space, the space you need to uncover that original self, allowing you to listen to your own inner voice without the constant sort of hum of external expectations.
The hum of expectations. I like that. And this is where it gets really interesting, according to the source. It suggests it's in those quiet, unshaped moments that you can start to remember. Remember what truly makes your heart flutter, maybe. Or what specific kind of beauty genuinely catches your eye. Or what values you hold dearest when there's absolutely no one else around influencing you.
Yeah, stripping away the external noise. And this perspective then naturally leads to the practical question. Okay, so how do you actually do this? How do you embark on this self-discovery journey through solitude? The source offers a few sort of foundational ideas. First, it's simply embracing the silence, learning to just sit with yourself, letting go of that constant need for distraction or performance. And it acknowledges, look, this can feel uncomfortable at first. That's okay. But it suggests that discomfort is often exactly where authentic self-awareness begins to spark.
Okay, so navigating that initial discomfort is key. That makes sense. What else? What else does the source suggest for this kind of inner exploration?
Well, then it's about engaging in a real dialogue with yourself, asking those deeper questions. Things like, who are you fundamentally when you're not defined by your utility to others? What activities or environments genuinely bring you a sense of peace, real calm? Or maybe what's something you've always felt drawn to, but perhaps never really gave yourself permission to actually pursue?
That idea of giving yourself permission,
Yeah.
that feels really powerful within this framework, doesn't it?
It really does. And finally, the source mentions the importance of rekindling old joys, those passions, maybe hobbies, or even just simple pleasures you might have set aside over the years. They're not gone. The source suggests actively revisiting them, reigniting that connection. There are still threads of who you are, just waiting to be picked back up.
Yeah, I see. And what's particularly striking about this LPot's community view isn't just, solitude is good for you. It's their active emphasis on this not being the same as loneliness. That's crucial. It's presented as a deliberate, almost necessary choice aimed squarely at normalizing this time alone, as fundamental for reconnecting with, well, as the source might put it, the most important person in your life.
Exactly. It's a really conscious reframing. It shifts the whole perception of solitude from something potentially negative or isolating to something positive, empowering, and actually essential for, self-maintenance.
Absolutely. So if we boil it down, the big takeaway from this perspective is pretty clear. Solitude, as framed by this community, isn't loneliness. It's a chosen, powerful path specifically for self-discovery and self-reconnection. They're actively working to normalize that time alone as just a vital part of well-being.
Yeah, it really challenges that societal pressure to be constantly on or connected, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
And it leaves you considering, based on this viewpoint, what specific piece or maybe forgotten aspect of yourself might be quietly waiting for you in those moments of chosen solitude, just ready to be rediscovered.